Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 2018 Hall of Fame Classic, the Tornado event being held here this weekend after a couple of days of tremendous international action. And we've got some open singles action for you down on table number 1. In a round of 32 match in the winner's bracket, that's James Castillo over there on the left side, Blake Robertson on the right. This should be a good one, best 3 out of 5. With a winner advancing to the round of 16 in the open singles competition. This is James Castillo out of the Bay Area, San Jose in Northern California. Blake Robertson living in another bay, Tampa Bay in Florida. So a battle of the bays here on table number 1. Castillo up early here, 1-0. We've had a couple of tremendous days of action already in the multi-table World Masters Singles and Intercontinental Cup events, and now we turn our attention completely to the Tornado table and the Hall of Fame Classic. And all of those international players who were here to compete are also now going to see what they can do on Tornado. Some of them we know, others not so much. Yanni Correa, the great Luxembourg multi-table player, is be fun to see what he does. We know what Robert Atha is going to do. He's going to do well. Robert Atha, a great Tornado player. And there's Blake Robertson again from goal. 2-1 lead for Robertson here early on. Again, a round of 13 match in open singles. Castillo passes it through, sets it up. Sits. Trying to take it out to the far side, blocked and taken away by Blake Robertson. We're going to play Blake Robertson in singles, and another one from goal. Is that 3 from goal for Blake Robertson so far? He leads 3-1. But if you're going to play Blake in singles, probably a good idea to slow things down. He's a really good high-speed player. Speaking of high-speed players, the young Costa Rican phenom Brandon Munoz here this weekend for his first time in Las Vegas. And talking to Tony Spredeman about Munoz, and we will definitely have Brandon here in the pits, of course, as the weekend progresses, and hopefully here in a little while on table number 1. But talking to Tony Spredeman, he says he's the fastest player in table soccer in the world. There's nobody faster, he says, than Brandon Munoz. And if you've seen some of the video from the year's opening event in Kentucky, the tour kickoff, I'm sure you understand exactly what Tony is saying. I think even Blake Robertson would need to slow it down. Munoz so fast he makes a cup of coffee nervous. I don't know what that means, but we're going with it. 3-2 lead early on here for Blake Robertson. Taken away here by Blake. Still 3-2 here in favor of Robertson. Up first game. And it's 4-2. Castillo along the near wall. Congratulations to Team Europe, who had a great day yesterday, winning both the women's and the men's Intercontinental Cup. And there is Blake Robertson with a slingshot into the goal. Blake doing the bulk of his damage from the goalie position, and he now leads 1-0. Second game underway, James Castillo putting it into play. James will have the first scoring opportunity of this second game. Castillo going with a pull shot, able to stub that one into the goal. Blake with a smile. Castillo with sort of a half apology there. James said, sorry, but I'll take it. One nothing lead here in the second game for James Castillo. 1-0 lead for Blake Robertson. I believe Blake scored 4 from goal in that first game. James stepped into the forward position, quickly passed it 5-3, and will set up the pull shot once again and stroke it home. So nice work here in this second game from James Castillo, who is controlling the tempo and is also 2 for 2 shooting it. 2-1 lead now for Castillo. Castillo. James has switched to his pull shot here in this second game, and it's paying dividends. And again, finding a tight hole down the middle. But Robertson puts it into play and immediately knocks it in to make it 3-2. Castillo. Again, the key here is that James is controlling the tempo. This would be a good time for a timeout. Let's see if he chooses to use one. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't need one as he again strokes home the pull shot. Really shooting it well. James Castillo now up 4-2. Robertson won the first game. Castillo, a guy, though, really, on any given day, in any given match, capable of beating just about anybody. He is a very, very good player. Very smart player. He's had success in the pro division, won pro titles, and he is going to use a timeout here. James Castillo will put the ball back into play. Knocks it up the table, was looking to dump it and chase it down. And Castillo able to take this one away. And a couple of blocks here by Robertson. Blake smoothly through that high lane. First one wide, gets it back, goes with another one. 2 shots in about 3 seconds, probably less. And Castillo eventually able to snag the rebound. He leads 4-2 here in the second. as we get into this round of 16. It really should be interesting. The big names that are here this weekend, there's lots of them. Lots of world champions, lots of Hall of Famers, lots of great international players. Robertson's cut the lead to 1 here. Boy, James Castillo's played a great game, and he needs to close it out here. Always nice when you play well to actually win the game. Robertson so good at coming back quickly, but Castillo can win game number 2 right here. As he sets it up, takes his time. Try to come down the middle. Robertson with the block. Rebound comes back to Castillo. James tried to stroke the long. You saw Robertson get out there at just the last second to make the block. That's a nice defensive play by Blake Robertson. Left about a 2-inch wide split hole. But it was Castillo going to the long hole. Robertson blocked it, has it now, and always dangerous at goal, but Robertson has this one blocked and picked up by Castillo. Another chance for James to win game number 2. And he does. It's 1 game apiece. Here we go. 3rd game underway. Robertson advances it to the 3-rod. Castillo with a block. Rebound spins back to James. We're even at a game apiece. I think if you're Blake Robertson, you look across the table, and this is a very tough round of 32 matchup for him. But again, a testament to the quality of player that we have here this weekend. The depth of the field in this open singles competition. Not 220 players in open singles here. And sliced into the goal by Robertson. Again, staying alive in this match, really, with the 2-rod. Won that first game behind, I believe, 4. And another one here, and he has taken an early lead here in this 3rd game. Went up into the air and off the table. Robertson will put it back into play. Rather, Castillo will put it into play in his goal area. And stroking it home here is Robertson. It's 2-0. Blake Robertson, last year, I think if I recall Clay Toomey's statistic, the 5th best singles player, and I don't think he had a finish in a major event lower than 5th place. Very consistent season from Blake. Not a guy that's ever won in major open singles championship on the Pro Tour, but a guy who is always in that top 5 range. Castillo answers to cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1. Here's Blake. And he finds that hole to the far side. Really getting it out there. You saw Castillo nearly to that corner, but Blake got around it. James through the high lane. And back comes Robertson again from goal. James Castillo has to find a way to stop Blake Robertson from the goalie position. 4-1 lead here in the 3rd for Robertson. Look out here. Robertson's got it again at goal. One game apiece, 4-1 lead here in the 3rd for Robertson. You got to like the way that James Castillo approached this match with an obvious game plan. Slow things down against Robertson. Try to control the tempo. but Robertson has been deadly from goal, and he now leads 2-1. Fourth game underway, 2-1 lead for Robertson. Castillo will get an opportunity to strike first here in game number 4, and that beautiful slingshot off the outside wall. Even Blake Robertson appreciating that effort, and Castillo up 1-0. That dink by Robertson, so clever offensively. Blake, really a great offensive player. And there's a left hook of sorts. I think it was a pass. You saw James tap the table, but it ended up in the goal. Blake does get the left hand back there here to keep it out. 2-1 lead here in the fourth game for James Castillo. 2-1 lead for Blake Robertson. And that one able to rattle in. 2-2. Blake working it to the 5. Almost lost it, then stabs it backwards into his own goal. The idea there perhaps was to try to make the save and then grab it if necessary, hit goal, but it got through. A goal for Castillo. Back comes Robertson looking to tie it, and he does. That one did go in. Big shot here for James, and he strokes the pull shot home. It's 4-3. Well, James Castillo just a goal away from sending this one to a 5th and final game. Robertson, though, with a quick answer, and it's match point for Blake. But James able to pass this one through. And has that shot blocked. Boy, it would be a good time for a timeout here if you're James Castillo with your winner's bracket life on the line. See what he does. So they'll reset it. And he will indeed call timeout. James Castillo will put the ball back into play. Looking to send it to a 5th and final game. And he does. James Castillo with a big pull shot here has tied the match up at 2 games apiece. Blake Robertson on the left, rather the right. James Castillo on the left as we get the 5th game underway. No score here in the 5th game. Castillo with a big effort in that 4th game to even it up. Shot attempt here taken away by Robertson, but Castillo able to make the block up into the air and off the table. So James will put the ball back into play. Sends that one off the outside wall towards Robertson's goal. Blake looking at that short side. You see Castillo completely back there. And that one's going to be blocked back into the goal by a man that James did not even have a hand on the handle of. It's 1-0. Robertson coming right back. And stroking it home near side. James can't hold on to that one. It comes back to him on the 5. 1-1 here in the 5th game. Angled on goal by Robertson. Castillo with a pass along that near wall. It gets through to his 3. Looking for the lead here in the 5th, and he finds it as he strokes that one down the middle against the reverse defense of Robertson. Blake coming right back, looking to tie it up. But again, there's James to make the block up into the air and off the table. James Castillo up 2-1 here in the fifth. Great save there by Robertson, but Castillo able to pick it up on the 3. And stroke it home. Boy, he's really shot the pull shot beautifully throughout the match. 3-1 lead here in the fifth game for James Castillo, and make it 4-1, make it match point for Castillo. A quick pull kick, Castillo with a block, and then he picks it up with a 5. And there it is. James Castillo comes back from a 2-1 deficit to defeat Blake Robertson in 5 games to advance to the round of 16 in open singles.